Some Moors who have commented on this approach while offering no alternatives or evidence of their own business acumen suggest this is a surrender or compromise. No, this is using the enemy's hand to slap his own face until such time as we regain our rightful places in the affairs of men and can use our own hand to slap their face. Using this tried and tested process, a business is incorporated, the notices, not requests, are sent, and based on affiliation with the Moorish Science Temple of America, tells the occupying powers that we are under no obligation to collect or remit taxes to them, nor are they to interfere with what we have going on. And that also includes not being able to look at our records.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
All right. Islam, Islam, Islam. We are here. We are here. We are here for 30 minutes more or less. Happy Holy Day to all Moors and Muslims all over the world. I am Sister Tahita S. Najiolael of CalifaMedia.com, mrcicharities.org and com, riseofthemoors.org and com, and now certifiedmoorish.org and com. Yes, I've been doing a lot with this life. I encourage others to do likewise. So, today is Friday, and I'm here again, okay? Might not be here for that long. Like I said, 30 minutes more or less, because I would really love to get my weekend started, because this week has been on one, right? Again, it's Islam and Happy Holy Day to all those who are viewing this and all those who will see this later on. So, real quick, weekly announcements. I'm just going to try to fly through this because, like I said, I want to get my weekend started. So real quick, weekly announcement. And again, as usual, I have my notes because why? I respect your time. And if I'm looking at two places, because I'm recording in two places, because I don't trust either one. So, weekly announcements. Like I said, I have quite a bit going on. And one of the initiatives I have going on is certifiedmoorish.org and .com. Those two, that initiative is two sites. It's one site. It's just either way you go to it. It's just two ways to get to one site. So that initiative has been set up to encourage Moors to get more involved in the financial sector. All right. Where the United States economy is collapsing. And if you subscribe to Moorish science, yes, all the wheels of industry will come to a screeching halt. And when they start up again, it will be in the favor of the Asiatics. Are you going to be ready to go? Right? It's like when the government has a contract coming up, right? I guess it is the same thing. It's the exact same thing. When the United States government has a contract like available, are you going to be able to say, yeah, I can do that? Or give me a minute while I set that up? I'm here for the Moors who are trying to be like, yeah, get ready, stay ready type of thing. So then, it'll be, I just gave my example. I don't need to keep going on because you all are intelligent. So to go along with that, the business part, I've been getting requests from Moors asking me about the trust. Can you give me just a second? I will be right back. Hold on. Okay. All right. Pardon-moi. Like I was saying, I've been getting requests about the trust, right? Because if you haven't figured it out or heard me say it before, Drew Ali put out the structure for our trust. If you are operating as a Moor, I can't speak for anybody else. My wheelhouse is Moorish American, right? If you want to see if you can get this to work for somebody else, you're going to have to do that because I don't know if it will. I doubt it will. Because, I can't go, here we go with China. I can't go to China and say, how can I get this Chinese law to fit my Moorish self? It's not made for me. That kind of thing. But if you can figure it out, good luck, right? Anyway, so there's a trust to go with it, all right? And Moors have been asking me about the trust. Like, should I set up the trust first? or should I do the incorporation first? Me, I'm a Gemini, right? And happy Gemini season. Well, I guess today's the solstice, right? We're crossing out of Gemini season. Thank goodness. Anyway, so I like flexibility. And my thing is, you have to remember the people who, I won't say they put this in place, but they're the ones who are like benefiting from it the most from what it seems like right now, as far as, operating under a trust. Look what they can do with it. This goes back into the Moorish science. I'm going to use some numbers. If you know what I mean, welcome. If you don't, go study. So we are talking about people who can look what they are doing with 33 degrees. And you have 720 that we know of. I'm just saying, which is why I'm like, there's a such thing as flexibility. I have a company that I've been running for 10 years, right? I have set up trusts for other people, but I have this hang up about doing stuff for myself. I believe in big spoons. I have a big spoon that can reach your mouth and I will feed you. I'm having trouble getting people to do likewise back to me. But, I make it work. I create my own opportunities. I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, while I've set up trusts for other people, I never got around to setting up my own. I never got around to taking care of my own garden. I'm not about to shut my 10-year-old company with 10-year-old credit history that I can utilize to get all kinds of stuff, right? To restart because I'm going to set up my trust and then use the trust to set up the incorporation and keep it moving. No, you can just put your business into your trust. It's just like everything else. I want to put my house in my trust. I want to put my car in my trust. I want to put my children in my trust, right? And so I'm just like, okay, how do I write this for the best way? What's the best way to write this up so that I am putting my trust or my business into my trust and then putting my trust into the prophet's trust because I can't find a temple to do this for me. Okay. I'm not rogue. I'm just not going to sit. I don't have the patience to be sitting around waiting for folks to take care of my stuff. I'm going to save myself. Right. And I'm going to get around. I think I'm considering making this available to other Moors. I actually am going to make this available to one Moor, definitely. Right. Because again, I'm trying to fulfill a need that if there's temples out there doing this, kudos. Thank you. But I couldn't find you. So I had to set something up for myself. I couldn't wait. But it's already set up to be, like I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. It's already been structured so that as soon as I find a temple that doesn't make me go, dang, you two, it's structured to be put right up under you. But I'm wondering, do I need to bother if it's already attached to the Prophet's Trust, right? And where's the Prophet's Trust? It's called the Circle 7. Available at califamedia.com or anywhere that you can find. You just Google Moorish Holy Quran Circle 7. It's a trust. Look at it. It has all the instructions, right? It has all the property that's being put up in it, right? And then that's the trust. Most people don't put it out for public consumption, but Drew Ali wanted to make sure everybody knew. So if anybody had a problem with it, you got to say something now because you got 20 years and then it becomes a fact, an art of fact. All right. So nobody said anything in going on 100, 100 years, because Drew Ali got to, which leads into the next thing I'm going to talk about. Drew Ali set up shop in Chicago in 1925, 100 years ago. Okay. You get 20 years to contest this. So I'm not going to say he filed this document. Oh, and once you have the trust filed, most people usually don't show the trust, which is why you can't crack them because you don't know how to. You don't know what the instructions are to crack them, right? Because they're private. He published his and still put out the certificate of trust existence. That's the one that the Moors used as their 1099 or whatever, right? So, yeah, it's funny. I was talking to a Moor. Oh God, I wish I could remember who it was, as to why you can use that in person, but you can't use it online, right? I think I'm going to put that on the site. So you got to go to the site to get it. certifiedmoorish.org, where I'm going to very, very, very soon put up the trust that I'm going to be filing to put my corporation under. And I'm doing this because another Moor, he set the fire under my feet because he needs some stuff done. And my son needs something done. If you know my son, he doesn't exist. He's the freest man I know because he was a home birth And the only paperwork he has is in the newspaper and through a Moorish science temple. So I have to set up a trust for him so he doesn't have to come to me every time he needs to get something done, right? It's like, nope, here, son, I'm going to set you up this trust. There you go. Now you can use to do whatever you need to do, right? So yeah, I think I'm going to open that up as a course. Y'all can follow along so you can see how it's done, right? It's really cool. It's not hard. You have to remember who has these things and look at how they're living with their limited abilities. I'm not going to say knowledge. They're total limited. They can't stay out in the sun longer than 10 minutes without breaking out into boils. All right. I think you can handle this. I know you can handle this. Just like it's like so hard to teach people how to crochet. Yeah, I tried to teach people I know how to crochet. I've been crocheting for 23 years. And I remember at my 20-something year, I taught a bunch of people, one group. It was a mixed group. This was in LA, right? And it took about 3 sessions to get them to make a chain, right? That's just the foundation so you can go ahead and start crocheting. I taught the same exact lesson to some Moors at a temple that I was attending. They got it that same afternoon. And not just the foundation, but oh, look, you made a whole square. This is usually, I didn't get to this point with the class, right? So let me show you how to make a border. Okay, now that you know how to do that, repeat to make sure you got it. Oh, look, now you got a set of 8 coasters or whatever pot holders, whatever. I know you can do it, all right? I've done the research, I like to prove myself wrong. I'll put it like that. Anyway, like I was saying, this trust thing was the responsibility of the MSTA. I'm going to put up all the information. Again, this came I'm responding to the requests made by Moors who have the 508 tax exemption set up for their corporation. You could use the exact same setup for your trust. This is not asking the United States corporate government for permission to do anything. You are not registering for anything. This code has been put there to notify them of why they need to stay out of your face. That's all. That's the best way I can put it, right? You all put this code. I didn't make this up. I didn't ask for this. You put this code that said, if you fall into these certain characteristics, if you do provide these certain services, and I've been telling more, like, I don't know if it qualifies as a service to the nation. Are you calling yourself a Moor? Yeah. Are you going to be doing this business as a Moor? Yeah. It qualifies as a service to the nation because you're getting our name out there. Thank you. Me personally, I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out how it doesn't qualify as something that needs to leave you alone. And then it adds up to 13. So I'm going to leave it there, right? So anyway, I'm not asking for permission. I am not registering. I am sending them notice of why they need to stay out of my business based on their own law. Again, I've said it before. I'm taking your own hand and beating you across the face with it. All right? That's your hand. It's your hand, right? Excuse me if I'm getting amped, but I'm talking like this because people keep saying I'm selling out. I'm like, am I putting people in slavery? No, because you do this and then you don't talk to them again if you do it right. You don't talk to them again. That's it. So what are you registering means I need to keep letting you know what I'm doing. I'm letting you know, again, say it with me, stay out my face. And here's why, based on your stuff. Anyway, you can use it for trust too. So that's coming. All right, moving on. Moorish Meetup NYC, and thank you all for the fire and all that stuff. Y'all, that be getting me amped. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but thank you. Anyway, dang, it's getting dark up in here. So I guess that's my indication to move on. So Moorish Meetup NYC. All right. The itinerary, the poster is up. I should have printed it out. If you haven't seen it, oh, cool. I got my phone. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Because I went to town on this one, right? It took me about a week to work on it, right? You just touch on it. Every day you make a gesture. And before you know it, it's like you go take a break and come back and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm done. Like when you cook and you taste it and it make you cry. And that's when you done cook, you need to leave it alone. So the Moorish Meetup. Oh, here we go. Moorish Meetup NYC if you have not seen it. That's the poster. Okay, I can't get it to show on there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so y'all can see it up there backwards. But yeah, that's going to be up on Rise of the Moors. Can I get it to show on here? riseofthemoors.org. Okay, people who can't see it on YouTube, I'm going to put it up in the corner right here. But I'm going to put the phone right there. It'll be up on riseofthemoors.org slash, I think NYC. I think it's just NYC, right? Because that's what is that? There's a word for it where the Rise of the Moors is it's basically where we store our activities or proof of our activities from mercy charities. Like, yes, we are using these funds for charitable purposes. Here's our there's a word for it, and it's like missing my mind right now. Anyway, Moorish Meetup NYC, the itinerary will be up this weekend on riseofthemoors.org/NYC. Some of this is tentative, some of this is not, because it's still early, because it's scheduled for July 25th through July 27th. All right, I'm saying 27th because it's really 25th through 26th. But I found, the third day, a lot of people have shown up to these things. You are welcome to drop in and drop out at any point of the itinerary. And I'm going to find a means, I'm going to find a way, Allah willing, to have it where my phone can be tracked. So, if you want to drop in, you'll be like, oh, snap, they right downstairs. And you can come check, you can come see us, right? We'd be glad to see you. I know I would. Well, I already reserved all my stuff, so I know I will be there. All right. So, I'm going to turn on this light because it's like quickly getting dark up in here. That's crazy. All right. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a lot better, actually. Yeah, that's a lot better. Dang. All right. So, tentative. Friday, July 25th is a tour of the Schomburg. There was supposed to be a lecture, but I don't feel like doing all that work because I will have my children with me, right? So there will be an hour-long tour of the Schomburg Museum, right? And my thing is, I've never been there, and I would love to go on a tour to see all the things I can ask to come back and see later in depth, right, with their research departments. After that is lunch. Then, since we're right over there in the area, so basically Friday is NYC, right? Next is Seneca Village. See what we can find over there. And then we go to dinner. And then, time permitting, visit a metaphysical bookstore or supply shop, because that's like becoming a thing. Every time, it's like we've had we've had 3 in the last 2 that's been a stop, impromptu. So I'm like, nah, maybe we need, and I always pick something up. Maybe we just need to, make sure that happens. Then tentative, Saturday, which is actually, this is like a little more within my control, right? Saturday, July 26th. Dixon Barbershop. That's the site of where the Moorish movement in America began. All right. Right. So that's what the prophet supposedly dropped in and said, yeah, we're about to do this thing. So we'll be stopping it there. So I guess, okay, Friday is NYC and Saturday is Newark. Of course, he picked the great city. Newark. Right? You better get with it or get left behind. Anyway. So then I found somewhere that said the prophet, I can't remember what date, but it was in 1916 where he declared the existence of the Moorish divine and national movement of North America, right? And the address they gave was like the corner of Rutgers and Market Street. I'm like, I can find Rutgers. I cannot find Market Street. Turns out that street ain't there no more, You know how stuff like it's 100 years later, that's 20 years later, that street is gone because they had to move some stuff over to make room for this other stuff. But I was like, okay, can you give me the coordinates? I asked AI, can you look it up in the newspaper and see if you can find the coordinates for it? And I'll see if I can find it on a map myself. Dude said, AI says, say less. Here's exactly where it is. And it figures. So basically, he said this at their Hall of Records. I'm like, why don't you just say the Hall of Records? You give it like streets that don't exist no more, right? No, and so we'll be stopping at the Hall of Records, checking it out, or that area. I'm gonna see if I can actually get up in there and see if we can get a tour of that too. You don't know. I'm gonna tell y'all something. You never know what happens when you ask. All right, real quick. And I might have shared this before. When I was in college, right? I was in getting my degree in education, among other things. And part of it was you have to student teach. And my thing is, I have a child. I'm not trying to go to school, go to another school, and raise this toddler. So I'm going to get a job. What I'm going to do is get a job at her daycare so I can get free daycare, right? I'm going to take the job working with the older children because nobody wants to work with them. Everybody wants to work with the babies, right? You wouldn't believe, oh, we'll pay you this, we'll do that, you can have this. We'll throw in free childcare. I just brought in the application to see if I can apply. So, and then it turns out I can use this I'm just going to write up my experiences with these anonymous children, and there's my student teaching, proof of it. All right. So I'm up in here. I'm like, I'm stuck here for the summer. Now it's summer break. I got to get these children driving me nuts. What can I do with them? They're like, you can set up field trips. You can take them on 3 field trips a week, wherever you want to go, and we'll get the parents to pay for it. Say less. So one of the things I'm like, okay, they just opened up, and we couldn't just go outside because this is Arizona in the summer, so I can't just take them outside. All right. So, IKEA had just opened in Tempe, right up the street from where we were. Right. This is what happens when you just ask. Right where we were. And I called up there, and I'm like, yeah, these children. I work at a daycare. These children are driving me insane. Do y'all do field trips? And they're like, no, huh? What? I don't know. Let me get back to you. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see if I can find something else. Day later, I hear back. They're like, you know what? We don't do field trips, but my manager said that's an amazing idea. Could you give us some details of what you want to do? I'm like, I just want to bring them to look at the children's section. Because, here we go. I figure, I'm like all of 23 when I'm telling this person this. I figure if I bring those children to look at your children's section, in order to get there, we got to pass through all these other sections that they're going to go home and tell their parents about. Can we come now? What day do you need? And now IKEA has field trips up there. They didn't before. I just asked, right? And yes, it did work great. I got a call back like you wouldn't believe it. All these people that came back with children, and we knew it was you. Yep. So anyway, I'm going to see if I can get a tour of the Hall of Records. You never know. You know, they might be like, oh, we've been waiting on y'all. You never know. Never hurts to ask. So, and then dining. Of course, many means of I got to look up all the dining stuff. Because it's New York. The whole world is there. I know I'm going to eat. It's like, I'm staying like in the boonies so I can save money on lodging so I can pay for the food, right? Because I plan on eating. So if anybody in NYC plans on being there and can suggest a quality Ethiopian, they call themselves Ethiopian, so I'm going to respect that. A quality Ethiopian restaurant. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I don't need a bucket list. Take me now, Lord. Right? So, because I've had some good Ethiopian food, but it's just like, I just got a feeling, you know, New York is so much competition. You got to like come all the way correct, like beyond correct. So anyway, so that's the Moorish Meetup NYC. Like I said, all the details will be up on riseofthemoors.org or com/NYC. I'm just going to leave that as the permanent address because I got a feeling it's going to be a repeat. Because if y'all haven't heard, I'm trying to get other Moors to join me in reviving what was going on in New York in the late 1990s, early 2000s with all those lectures that were going on. We need to start doing that again. All this virtual stuff is getting tired, real tired. I can't take it. And I don't want the children to get used to it, right? Weekly news. All right, 23 minutes. Let me hurry this up. I covered up what I wanted to do anyway. And I'm going to get to I Condemn Israel. Perfect. All right, thank you again for being here. I will try not to keep you long. So, weekly news. I can't stand talking about this man, but he is the news. All right. Trump may or may not attack Iran within the next 2 weeks. All right. Even though he's saying this, this is one thing I do like about Trump. Trump is saying, I'll decide if we decide, I'll let you know in 2 weeks if America or the United States will be going to war against Iran. Dude, that is not your call. The power to declare war sits with the people, i.e. Congress, the House and the Senate, not you. There's a reason. Because having control of the army, which the executive does, and having the control over when to use that army makes you a king. Then they just have a No King's Day. I'm not leaving it up to these peons to do it. Because they're finding out what marching is like. What makes you think that's going to work? Did you see how well that worked for us? What finally worked? We sued them. All right? And not in state court. I don't do state court. Anybody who's talked to me, shout out for the educated ear and coming soon, legal digestion. I don't do state court. I do federal because state is too arbitrary and I can do federal everywhere. Absolutely every. The rules are the same no matter what state I'm in. Plus I figure it's going to end up there anyway. So let's start there, right? So that's how it wasn't the marching that got our people civil instead of human rights. It was suing them in federal court. They got it. All right. And then the last time they sent the marshals not the marshals. They sent the federal government sent the National Guard into a state without the governor's permission was to enforce something that these Negroes had sued for in federal court. Right. If y'all interested in doing a what's that thing called? Class action. I've been studying. I'm just looking for some Moors that's serious. Not some folks that get excited and next they fizzle out. I don't have time. But if you're actually interested, I'm collecting names. Anyway, so right now, no one is enforcing the Constitution. I say we do it, right? Not for the benefit of anyone but ourselves. And my thing is, it'll be real easy. Leave us out of it. Y'all go ahead and blow yourselves to hell, right? I'll say a prayer. But other than that, that's the only thing I like about Trump. He makes you look at the Constitution. Everybody gets better at being a citizen when he's in office, right? Again, I said it before. I did not know what the emoluments clause was until he became president, right? And now all this stuff, like he can't do that based on this and that and that. Everybody's a jurist now. I love it. Folks are stepping up their game. And then you have absolutely no excuse because you can ask AI, hey, am I crazy, AI? If you know what you're doing, if you really know how to flex that thing, it really does work, right? Learn shepherdizing. Shepherdizing is when AI tell you something, be like, give me the sources. Oh, that's great. That's interesting. Where are you getting this from? Cite your sources. And it might be like, oh, you're right. That's all you got to do is ask it to provide its sources. So why did he say it's delayed? His reaction is going to be delayed. Not because he cares about, I don't want our troops to die. Not because, I don't want to have God's chosen to die. You know what made him say, I'll give it 2 weeks before I bomb Iran? You know what did it? They blew up a building next to the Microsoft headquarters in Israel. I guess somebody called Trump and said, you better leave those folks alone before their aim gets better. I don't care about the troops. I don't care about these is not reals. It's all about the money. That's what. So we got 2 weeks for him to say 2 more weeks. And lastly for the news, because I'm running out of time, Trump is suspected to have syphilis. Go look it up. This week's topic, and it's probably going to be short because this thing is already at 28 minutes. I condemn Israel.
Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that this message may be spread widely to assist in our mission to normalize Moorish.
I condemn Israel. I'm not saying me personally, in my personal capacity, I am not saying that I condemn Israel because I do not condemn Israel because I know who Israel really is, right? And if you didn't see the post for this, I put in the little thumbnail, right? In 100 years, when everybody's cursing America, when we have our stuff back and all the books say America was the one causing all these problems, and we're America. I'm so glad the prophet said, no, we're Moors born in America, which means America's something else. We're Moors born there, but no, our land is actually called something else. But do you see what I mean? It's a ritual. It's sick and disgusting, right? And yeah, actually, it's funny. I actually got that. But dang, this is crazy. I've been going through all this stuff, looking at my hoodoo tarot, my women's encyclopedia of symbols, myths and secrets, and my what is this? Women's dictionary of sacred objects, right? Because it's been like, what's going on? All these people, death to America. I condemn Israel. Moors already understand where I'm going with this, right? But it's just like, this is crazy. I am so glad. It's crazy. We were Israel, right? We're supposed to be the Americans. But Drew Ali said, no, you're the Moors born in America. Like, to make sure that you ain't sticking that on me, right? It's kind of unfortunate that they're doing the same thing with black. They know who the real black people are. It's the ones who have no land to go back to, that the is not reals, is not realies, that they're finding out right now. Like, a lot of them are like they hold passports in like multiple countries, and they're having trouble booking a flight. Like, they can get out, but they're having they like, well, I'm a citizen, I should be able to come back. They're like, oh no, we ain't accepting no flights from your area. But I don't need a visa. I'm a citizen. No flights from Israel. And I'm just like, take a wild guess where they all going, because they can't get into like France. Australia won't let them in. Spain definitely won't let them in. England is like, well, we got to screen you first. Guess where they all coming? Come on, take a guess. Can somebody put it up in there? Real quick. I can't find. I'm a criminal, right? My hands got blood on it too, because my country requires me to serve in the military or go to jail. I'd rather shoot brown people. I would much rather, satisfy my cave beast bloodlust. They're all coming here. Right? But they've been like, yeah, these people gonna have a real hard time here. They gonna have to change their names. Mystery by Babylon. Who are these people? Everywhere they go, they change their names. Right? Like Netanyahu. His name is like Natan or something crazy like that. So now his son is going to go from Natan to Netanyahu. So what you about to be, Nelson? Right? Mystery Babylon. So anyway, it's a metaphysical ritual on the physical plane. I'm going to read what I wrote down, because I was like, I had to get this out. So it says, when the titles are placed on the correct parties, black accomplishments will go to the stateless cave beast. America will be the bully cop of the planet Earth, and the crimes of Israel will be attributed to Allah's true chosen, right? Thank goodness we have the name Moor. It's like, we've been all of those things. We are all of those people, but it's just like, nope, in these days and times. Nice try, though. Nobody's claiming more, so don't get mad. I'm not taking nothing from nobody, unless somebody is claiming more that I don't know about. Anyway, just know that when you're just know what you're looking at, and, just keep not caring, because that seems to be working for our people, right? And the reason I came up with this whole thing was I condemn Israel, how people are basically, right? Palestine is getting the bombs they want to shoot at us, right? Israel is being condemned like they want to condemn us, right? America, death to America, like they want death for us, right? And the reason I came up on this was I was reading the book of Melchizedek. I had never read it before, right? And it's been bothering me. It's just like it's pretty messed up. It's like whatever that was that Hitler read that made him do what he did to his own people. I'm not trying to do that to my people. I'm trying to do that to somebody else's people. Anyway, so I've been reading the book of Melchizedek, and I couldn't help noticing the correlation between Lucifer's promise to Allah. The book was tripped out. So according to this book, right, if you've read it, I never read it before, right? I'm just like, are you serious? So Allah is sitting on his throne in heaven. He makes Lucifer. It's like, dude, you are just gorgeous. You are my favorite, right? You get to lead all the other angels. And Lucifer's response is, I want to know what that darkness is over there. Dude, you don't want to know what that darkness is. Aren't you enjoying heaven? Right? This is great. Like, no, I want to know good and evil. So he goes and finds out. Now that I know both, I can lead these angels better than you. I have at it. I was shocked. Like, have at it. Yeah, you can have the crib, son. I'll move out. I'm gonna move out into onto the property. You can have the house. I'm gonna move out into the property behind those trees where you don't know something. Where there's this garden, right? I'm reading this like I don't like where this is going. So Allah abandons his throne. So I guess so Lucifer, like, yeah, let's see how well you can manage being God. Good luck, right? You really want this job? Peace. I'm gonna go chill in the garden. I'm gonna make a new, better version. I made you too well. I'm gonna make something with some flaws that will appreciate my glory, right? And I need everybody to keep quiet about this so he could just Lucifer could think he won, right? So I can just enjoy the cool of the evening with my people, right? And here comes Lucifer, like, what? He got something else going on. I want that too. Like, what? He stepped down to give it. So these angels hear about it and go down and be like, all right, Adam, Eve, y'all need to stay together. Don't separate, because Lucifer is coming down here to like mess this whole thing up. All y'all have to do is remember what we're telling you now, what Allah has told you in the past, and don't separate. So of course they did none of that. And I'm just looking like, so this creature, Lucifer, is doing everything. Instead of just enjoying the power that Lucifer has, he's doing absolutely everything to prove that he can beat Allah. Dude, you got the house, right? You want the shed too. Unbelievable, right? And I'm just looking at this thing like, here's the last act. It's the final act. That's the good news. So your final act is to, I'm going to make my own. You made man. I could do that too. I'm going to make my man too that can't tolerate the sun, that smells weird when it rains, right? Can't no longer have children, right? But I'm going to make them glad that they're my children. I'll make your children jealous. Yeah, I can make them jealous. It worked. That part worked. But it's not working anymore. So since they're not jealous, I got to get the whole world to curse y'all. I condemn Israel. Death to America. So, yeah, be careful what you read. It's like, oh, wow, I was good. Man, ignorance was bliss. But that's my fault. It's such an embarrassment, though. It's an embarrassing failure of the replacement approach. The beast has resorted to committing crimes in our name so that even if Allah doesn't condemn you, future generations will, thanks to the lies committed by, under your stolen name. So that was my point about I condemn Israel. I don't. It's just that it's being done. They're not condemning Poland, Ukraine, Russia, where these people actually come from. They condemning us for their crimes. Don't they have a ritual for that? Like every year they like slaughter a chicken so they don't have to like take responsibility for anything they've done. So, yeah. Well, that's all I got for you, Moors. Thank you all for being here. That's 38 minutes. That's long enough. Again, don't forget to check out CalifaMedia.com. We always got goodies up there. And riseofthemoors.org for all information on the Moorish Meetup NYC. That's coming up in over a month. Today is the 20th, and this thing is coming up on the 25th. So you got time. If you want to go get some tickets, they're like super cheap. Actually, they're going to be really cheap, I guess, after the 4th of July because nobody's going to be supposed to be traveling. That's why I always arrange these on weird dates. Because, yeah. Other than that, I'll talk to y'all next week. Same time, same place. I'm going to go get a snack and take a nap so I can stay up for my meeting tonight. Other than that, Islam, peace and love, happy holy day, and bye-bye. Y'all, peace. That was fun.